Welcome back, good people. There's a number of things that will be addressed. And for starters, we go back to the Arizona State game versus Texas. Okay. We already know that it's over and settled. And I'm hearing and seeing a lot of people stating that Arizona State wouldn't have won, or the era in which the referees made on the targeting call did not determine the outcome of the game. And then I have to sit back and look at it, because if you follow that game, right, and you were watching the game, you clearly could see that ASU had momentum on their side at that point, because they just had scored two touchdowns, or should I say scored twice, and Texas had no unanswered points, and they managed to get the ball back, and they were heading towards the red zone, period. Like, it was, time was running out. It was good time management. Arizona State was headed to the red zone. Momentum was on their side. Texas looked like they were giving up, or should I say that they couldn't stop Arizona. And all they had to do, which that was a part of the plan, everybody knew this, including the refs, right? All they had to do was get in the red zone and kick a field goal. That's what their plan was. Of course, they were going to try to score, but they were driving down the field. They were all the way on the other side of the field, and they had made it up to where they were at that point. And once again, if that is not targeting, then that is not targeting. But clearly, they've made targeting calls. That game, I believe, a previous game, other games, we all know what targeting is. You know, you hear people say, you know, what is targeting? Yes, it needs to be defined specifically on paper in the rule of the law. Yes, that is true. But what I'm saying is that clearly was targeting, literally, based off of previous examples, previous references, previous factual calls. And we can look at we can go back and look at film at all of the targeting calls that referees made, not just on this particular game, but on all of college games. And you can clearly see there's consistency on what considered targeting. Whenever the helmet is raised on lowered on a defensive player, a defenseless player. And clearly that's what happened, even to a point to where the player had a concussion, a minor concussion, to where he had to, you know, get a hold of himself before the next play. So yes, that was targeting. Now, we don't have to question whether that was targeting or not. The issue comes in the referee. Why the referee did not call that call? Well, I know why. Everyone knows why. They did not want Arizona to win based off of that. That is the main reason. Okay, now the question is this. This is what should be defined in refereeing competitive sports. Is it okay for a referee to refuse to call or establish a call based off of a personal consideration or a personal belief? Okay. Yes, because we give the referees the authority to make the calls, and we follow the rules in which that they're given. But if the referees are going outside of the rules and not making the call, then it's about the referees. In this case, it was clearly about the referee. Now, the question is, who motivated the referees to not make that call? Because yes, a good faith referee is going to make that call. They're going to say, yes, okay, that was targeting. Everybody saw it. Everybody knows. There's no, mystery if that was targeting or not. The question is, why didn't that ref call that? And what made the ref not call? Was it other people in his headset speaking, saying, hey, don't call targeting. Don't call targeting. Because think about it. Let's say if ASU would have, let's say if they would have won, let's say the referees did what they were supposed to do, right? They made the targeting call. Arizona State gets in the red zone. They have the option at this point to either score or kick a field goal. And let's say they scored, right? And the game is over. Everyone is going to look at they only won because of targeting. And that's not something to settle on, because targeting is targeting. Nobody told that player to do that. So that's just what it is. And if that's how the game would have ended, that's how it's supposed to end. And Arizona State was robbed of having the game end the way it was supposed to end, basically. We will never know the outcome, or we won't know the outcome, because the referees prevented ASU from what was supposed to happen in that game. Like, we didn't get to see it, right? So not only is that an issue, but the fact that let's say he made the call, Arizona State kicks the field goal, there's no more time left, Arizona State wins. We all knew, whoever was watching the game and following the game, know that Arizona State was going to win if that ref would have made that call. Even the ref knew it. The ref knew that Arizona State was going to win, okay? If he would have made that targeting call, and he decided not to, because he didn't want to be in the media where people all talking about, the ref made that targeting call, that's why they won. And he would have been looked at, and then maybe he would have got a lot of flack from Texas fans, and he didn't want that type of pressure. So he did not make the call. And he said, well, you guys need to win regularly, because I don't want nothing to do with that, being in a controversy of, not making that call. And that's why that call wasn't made. It's not because it wasn't targeting. It was targeting. And on top of that, I believe that Arizona State would have won that game, just like so many others. And we were let down that we had a referee did not call a targeting call that should have been called, and that's why Arizona State lost the game. Now, we can look at other things, because I've also heard, that didn't decide whether or not the game. Yes, it did. If you know football, you clearly know that was the blow right there. They would have got closer to their goal to kick a field goal. You can't say hypothetically, we don't know if the field goal or if the field goal kicker was going to be able to kick. You can't say all of that. That has nothing to do with it. Who knows? They would have probably went into the a score with Scatterboot or something. Who knows? The point is, the call wasn't made, so we'll never know that, and that is the reason why Arizona State lost, period. Not because of nothing else. Also, okay, you guys need to look at this as well. Arizona State drove Texas to the red zone 3 times and didn't score out of it. 3 times. Just think, if Arizona State would have decided to kick a field goal when they were in the red zone on the 20-yard line or the 3, or all the times they drove all the way and didn't score, they would have won the game like that. Just think about it. Yes, they came back and they evened it and it went into overtime. But to be honest, Arizona State was the better team. And they didn't win because of the referee, because it wasn't no question who was the better team. Arizona State was clearly the better team that day against Texas. Clearly they were. Okay, they drove all the way to the stats tell you that. They drove all the way to the red zone 3 times and didn't score. Just think, if they put points on the board those 3 times, there's no way that Texas would have won. And then you look back when they had them in overtime, I sit there and look back and said, just if they would have just decided to kick 1 field goal, they wouldn't have had to go to overtime. Or if they would have scored twice, kicked 2 field goals, maybe 3, they would have been up by 9 points minimum. If they would have kicked 3 field goals those 3 times they went down and didn't kick a field goal, or they went for it on 4th down 3 times. Just think if they would have said, let's put the field goal unit. They were right there in the red zone, 20 all the way up to the 1 yard line. They would have made those field goals, period. They would have been up 9 points minimum. And just think if those were touchdowns, that's 21 points. Clearly, Arizona State was the better team, the stronger team, and the referees is the reason why. And we could say, hey, they should have scored in those red zones. That's why they lost. But no, that's not why they lost. Arizona was the better team. Clearly, they was supposed to win. We all knew that Arizona State was supposed to win. That's not going to sit well. And on top of that, let's flip the coin on the SEC side. SEC is out. Like, they are no longer I keep hearing people say, oh, they're the best conference. No, they're not. They're just like any other conference trying to win a title or game. So there should be no preferential treatment for them, because clearly you're seeing it on the field. Their reign is over. When Nick, the Alabama coach, left, their reign ended, period. It left with them, okay? And that's just the truth of things, okay? And not only that, when SEC teams lost, they lost by double digits in the playoffs, okay? Texas was an exception. And not only that, Texas should have lost. As a matter of fact, SEC should have been closed out, okay? I made a video, okay? They should have been closed out last week. We shouldn't have been seeing no Texas game this upcoming week. We wouldn't have even been talking about the SEC, period. But since the refs cheated, we're talking about Texas. And just to make things more notable, Texas is not going to win against Ohio State. Ohio State is going to blow Texas out, or should I say put a whooping on them like they did the other like the Big Ten did the other SEC teams. Clearly, this shows right now the Big Ten most likely is going to win another title, and the SEC is in regroup mode. They need to regroup, because right now they really not moving the needle in the sense of, they're struggling, period. And there's polarity across college football, and you can thank the transfer portal and NIL for that, because players have the right to move around. You can't just keep players locked down for 3 years and they're not being able to freely go to the team that they want to go to, or that they need to go to, or that they should go to, where they can play or whatever. That's gone. That's why there's polarity, because of the ability to transfer. And that is why there's polarity, because before, these programs was keeping players, doing whatever they needed to keep them there, keeping them there, and away from all the other programs. And that's how they were able to continue and be consistent. But now that that's gone, okay, any particular program can win on any given day on a Power 4 level. It's just a matter of who comes prepared for that match. Every team got strengths and every team got weaknesses. It's about how you use those and how you match up for that particular, who's going to be there performing that day in preparation. But once again, thank you all for watching. Till next time, have a great day.